I would say that the majority of my PhD I spent between juggling deadlines, half-written drafts, answering emails, Slacks, and so on. And everything, I would say that the leitmotif of all of that was that it felt that everything was urgent. And because everything felt urgent, I was just moving on autopilot, I would say. My only goal would be to check as many things off my to-do list. And of course, that leaves you with the question, but when do you actually have time to do research? Is this even doing research? From this perspective that I have now, I would say that definitely not. But on the other hand, this is how it works because you are always constrained by so many deadlines. So when you're actually doing a PhD, when you are doing research, you sort of have to either find a way how to swim in it or basically do something else. So I wanted to share this experience of this constant sense of urgency because I feel that people do not talk about that much. When they talk about the PhD or when you ask people from the experience from the PhD, especially those who had a nice experience, who feel that this is their path, they like academia, they like research and so on, they always tell you, yeah, it's hard, but it's also very interesting because you can do what you like, you are always investigating something new, you are always finding out something new. And the question that I have for those people, at least from my experience, is objectively in research, you have very, very little time to think about new stuff. Yeah, sure, you are doing something new because you have a proposal that was approved that so allegedly no one did before, like you're doing something that no one has done before, but you are never actually allocating time to think, because what I've seen from my experience and from my colleagues and from many of my clients is that you are constantly in that rush of meeting deadlines, and then at the same time you are constantly feeling like you are behind because you cannot check things off of the to-do list as fast as they appear again on your to-do list. So I want to do this video to encourage people and to tell people that they are not alone. So if you're feeling this constant sense of urgency that nothing is ever done, everything had to be done for yesterday, you are always late, I want to tell you that this is normal. I felt this way. I wouldn't say it's normal, but it's definitely common. You are not alone in that feeling because this is how I felt the majority of my PhD. This is how I would say 99% of my clients felt during their PhD, during their research time and time in research in general, especially in academia. And it's something that you can overcome only if you make a very, very conscious effort to make sure that your moves are very calculated, that your moves are very conscious. For example, what I want to say with this is that when you are in this sense of mess, that everything feels like a mess, the only thing you're doing the entire day is chasing things on your to-do list. The only thing that you want is to get it done so that you can finally rest. I'm here to tell you that you are never going to get it done because the research is never done. There is never enough. There is always something more. So you are the one who has to say, okay, this is where we draw the line, and this is what we are going to leave for someone else to investigate, for someone else to figure out, and for someone else to write their PhD thesis on that. So if you're feeling in that, if you are there in that sense of urgency and everything has to be done as quickly as possible, and this is taking a toll not only on your mental health, which I'm sure is, but on your thesis, on your productivity, on how you are approaching the next steps of your research, I want to tell you that you are not alone, that I know exactly how that feels because I felt like that, as I said, 99% of the time during my PhD. And I want to tell you there is a solution to that. You have to make a conscious effort to make sure that you know how to plan your steps, but not in that typical color-coded organization skills planner thing, which there is nothing wrong with that, but it simply doesn't work with research. Because research, apart from moving very fast, it becomes very, very messy very fast. So if you do not find a way to put it all together and find a way to make it make sense, first to you and then to others, it's going to be chaos very, very soon. So having said that, if you are in that storm right now, if you feel that you are constantly chasing your to-do list but never So everything is urgent, but nothing is ever quite done. I want to invite you to schedule a completely free intro coaching call with me. I will leave a link down below where we can discuss exactly that. Your research, your challenges, how to put that chaos together so that it makes sense when the time comes to write that paper, to write that thesis, to write that proposal, that presentation, that conference, and so on. So this is the message of this video, that if you're feeling all of those things and if all of those things are coming up, you are not alone. 99% of my clients experience this, I experience this, and there is a way out. So I want to end up this video on a positive note because there are methods and techniques that you can use to make sure this doesn't end up in a bad burnout. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, see you in the next few days with another video. Bye bye.